Hey everyone, this is Viren and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to speak about the most simplest growth hack that is available out there, which most product managers or marketing professionals know of, but they never really use it. And trust me, this one simple idea could be the difference between having 10,000 visitors to your site compared to 100,000. Uh, Product managers and marketing professionals out there have used it time and again to increase click-through rates, to increase conversions on their products. And this is something that you definitely know of, but you've never really tried it. At least most people haven't. Uh, and it's simply called content or language market fit, right? So we always speak about product market fit, where we try and build a product which meets the expectations of the market. But what we always miss out is the language that we use on the product. Does that convey in the most perfect way what your product is? In the most simple terms, content or language market fit basically refers to the language you use to describe your product. And this needs to resonate with your target audience in order to persuade them to try your product, right? This includes all forms of communication, whether it's your website copy, whether it's your Instagram ads, Facebook ads, whether it's your email, SMS, push notification, or even your print ads, right? Everything needs to be consistent in the way you talk about your product. So the goal is that you have around 8 seconds to write direct, persuasive content which sort of captures the attention of your user. And the best example out there is when the iPod came out, and there could have been a lot of ways to describe it, right? You have 5 GB of memory, storage space, this functionality, that functionality, and all of that. But what Steve Jobs did is 1,000 songs in your pocket, right? And that resonates the most with the audience because it clearly defines the value of the product and conveys it in just 2 to 3 seconds, right? And that's the goal. Now, when I was doing my MBA and anyone spoke of case studies where Apple was involved or Steve Jobs was involved, it really pissed me off because everyone is not Steve Jobs, and it's very easy to take examples after they've created history, but it's not easy to replicate those things, right? And what you need to realize is that it's difficult, but it's not impossible, and you definitely don't have to be Steve Jobs or Apple, right? The simple way to do this is A/B testing and experimentation. All you need to do is, in fact, go to Google right now and search for content A/B testing case studies, and you will find hundreds of companies that have experimented with, let's say, their email subject line, right? And uh, try to find out the right subject line which increases their open rates to the email, or the right content for their website header that makes users spend more time on their site, or the right content for their CTA that increases the click-through rate, right? And this is something that we all know of, we all have thought about this, but how many of us have actually taken the trouble to run A/B experiments on our subject line? I'm sure not many. In fact, if you have, write this in the comment section. Tell me how the result was. Maybe that motivates the rest of us to actually try this out. And there are hundreds of products out there which you can use. The one I used in my early days was Google Optimize. This is free, and you can use it to run A/B experiments on your content. And there are a bunch of other, right? There is Crazy Egg, there is Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely. There are just so many of them that you can use, and a lot of them are free. You just need to plug it into your website and just pick the content you want to change. In fact, you don't even need a developer once the integration is done, right? You as marketers or product managers can do it. Uh, just change the content, figure out 5 to 6 different copies, and run the experiment, and you'll be able to see the results. So if I were to run, let's say, an experiment on the headline of a landing page where people see ads on Instagram or Facebook or Google, click on it, come to my site, and then there's a headline, right? Uh, you can use one of these platforms to just maybe try 15 different headlines, and then compare it with, let's say, a metric like session duration or average number of pages, time spent on website, and see that does it change when you change the content of your site. In case of, let's say, a button that you have on the site, the main call to action, so to speak, you can try maybe 15 different copies there, and again have the same audience, break it down into parts, which these platforms do for you very, very easily. You don't have to do anything. And then see that does the click through on those CTAs change based on content. And trust me, this is the most simple thing you can do, right? Whenever you're designing a web page, you already think of like 5, 6 different ideas for the title or the call to action. But what we generally tend to do is that we just select one and we put it in there and use it forever, right? And then we probably go on thinking that maybe the marketing is not right, or there is whatever X number of problems, but we never think to change that, try 15 different copies and then see if it can change. If you've tried that, do comment it below. I would really want to know what are the results that you see, because Google it, like I said, right? And you will find hundreds of companies that have increased conversions by 10x, 20x by simply changing the content. Do give it a try. Thank you and have a great day.